Hello everybody, welcome to the Drug Knitter Podcast. I am your host, Sophia. Welcome to the show. How's it going, y'all? It's Friday. And, yeah, what's your plans for the weekend? I am going to visit some family on my husband's side because his grandparents, I call them my grandparents because ain't no one calls anyone's grandparents by, like, their name. Like, maybe, like, I don't know. I always call my grandma and grandpas, but it's like they're turning 80, so we're all going, and it's going to be lit. Anyway, like, how's it going? Like, whew, it's been such an interesting week. A lot of things happen this week in my personal life, but a lot of things like be happening on social media. Like, it's been interesting, you know. This is so good. This is like literally like a half a part like white grape juice, because white grape juice is so strong. It's like wine, you know. It's really strong flavor. The rest is LaCroix, sparkling water, mango, and then a splash of water because I do like my LaCroix more like mineral water. I sound so spoiled. I get my LaCroix from Aldi, so like it's like half the price. Did you guys know that? You get like the big cases of LaCroix from Aldi, and it's like the similar price to Aldi brand like sparkling water. It's like the same thing. It's so crazy, but of course it tastes better. But if you get LaCroix from Aldi, it's mad cheap. Like, even I can afford it. With a splash of water and some ice, and I've just been sipping on this all morning, and it's so good. Do you like my cup? It's from Hot Box. Do y'all have Hot Box where you are? I know in Indiana we got them all over, but it's a pizza place. It's nothing like what I'm used to being a New York, New Jersey girl, okay? We get pizza, and it's like a whole nother animal. It's just dripping with grease, and the whole thing is covered in toppings, and it's delicious. You know, you go to Hot Box, and you're pretty much getting, like, pizza that you could have made at home, but you low-key don't want to. No shade to Hot Box. It's still good, but it's not New York pizza. But they know that. You know, it's Indiana pizza. I love New York pizza. Oh my goodness. I love food. I love about New York pizza is like they don't skimp on the toppings. When you get a topping, you better like that topping, okay? Because it's just covered. I swear, you get like a pizza with olives on it, the whole thing is covered in olives. You know, and out here, like when you get a pizza with olives on it, there's like 5 olives on there. It's like, now New York has $1 a slice with a drink, okay? And the whole thing is covered in the topping. But y'all out here can't do, like, it just, I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, yeah. Oh my gosh, I had the best breakfast this morning. You want to hear it? This has nothing to do with knitting, I'm sorry. But I make the best cheddar biscuits. And by make, I mean I get them from the box at Aldi's. I'm gluten intolerant. I couldn't have gluten like my entire life. So I make it with like, they got like a cheddar biscuit mix. I just like triple the amount of cheese they said to put in it. I triple the amount of fat. And I just slather them in butter hot out the oven. And garlic butter. So good. This time I made it healthier. I still tripled the cheese because, you know, sorry. And, but I also, I didn't put the butter on top. But that's okay because I made gravy to go with it. So we had biscuits and gravy for dinner. And then leftover biscuits this morning because gravy just don't keep well to me. I don't know why. Gotta like fancy it up overnight. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, it was so good. Best breakfast ever. Whew. Okay, so what are we talking about today? We are talking about surviving my mystery knit-along. What was that snort? I'm sorry. That is being launched tomorrow evening. Okay, clue 1 is tomorrow evening. Y'all better be ready. I am ready. I have been, like, this pattern has been done for maybe 2 months now. And I spent these past 2 months just combing with a fine comb, going through every single letter, like making sure everything is perfect, making sure that any beginner can pick it up. If you've never done brioche before, you know, there's everything you need to get started for brioche is included in the pattern, okay? They're not my videos. I just selected my favorite YouTube videos and of like brioche techniques, because why reinvent the wheel when someone else has done it beautifully? You know what I mean? Everything is outlined. I stay true to what's her face method of explaining brioche. I love the way that, what's her name? What's her name? Nancy Marchant. Not Merchant. Marchant. I love the way that she describes brioche. It's vastly different from a lot of brioche patterns out there. Not vastly, it's just a little more consistent. I looked at a lot of different brioche patterns to see like how people are wording things versus her, just out of curiosity. And I prefer her method of how she has, like, instead of like a, I don't know, it's just her method just makes a lot more sense to a beginner who's never even breathed brioche or even said the word before. I know I didn't. So yeah, I really love it. I did not use her bind off and cast on methods. I picked a really basic cast on and bind off method for y'all. In fact, you don't bind off in my pattern. We're that's a spoiler. Spoiler, there's like, I don't think we bind off a thing in my pattern. For real, there's no bind off, puppy. Also, you know, I'm just gonna stop there. So I use a really easy cast on instead of her. She's an Italian cast on. But what I love about it is that I just tried to like stay true to how she writes brioche. It's very standard brioche, but a lot of patterns I've seen didn't have standard brioche. It had more like conversational brioche. You know, I don't know how to describe it, but I read patterns where I was like, what are you saying? Help. Help. Because I myself am not an experienced briocher. So it's like some of the things they were saying, I'm like, I'm going to need a key, a video, I'm going to need a summary, the Kindle edition, the Audible edition. Like, I'm going to need help, okay? Like, I got a learning disability. Like, you can't just tell me something. Like, I need all levels. And because of that, I put all levels of explanation, but not too much, like, where you're confused in the pattern. So if you've never done brioche, don't be scared, okay? It's everything you need is in the pattern. And because it's mystery and it's like a modular design. Girl, if you push my bootleg tripod one more time, she's leaning against my tripod to lick her butt. Y'all, it's Sophia from the future. I did not finish my train of thought at this moment, but I just want to add in that because it is a mystery knit along, I did want to say that there are some diagrams in the pattern to help with certain parts of the pattern so that way you don't get lost. Okay, back to the video. Today I just want to talk about surviving it. So if you've never done brioche, just click the videos that I have in, oh my gosh, have you been crooked the entire time? Or did puppy just do that? I hope not. Just click the videos I have in the pattern, okay? Another thing that I use, unfortunately I can't find any of my hacks. Like, I have like special like things that I use to help me with brioche, and I can't find it. I can't find it. I can't find any of it. Like, so in the notions, it's important that you read the entire pattern if you have no idea what you're doing. Like, FYI, like, read the whole like information sheet. I never do as a knitter, so that's why I'm saying that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't read the info sheets. I literally just read the gauge and I just get going. Why are you crying? That's what I thought. We're gonna go play fetch later, okay? After I film, we'll play fetch. You don't have to cry. So, yeah. So read all that. I never do. I'm just letting y'all know. It'll help you a lot. Another thing that helped me the most when doing this pattern is using a row counter ring. Now, I'll put a picture of the one I use because for some reason it is gone. I have like 10 million pets, so y'all know how that goes. Something little like that. The cat will spot it on the floor and then the dog will eat it, and there goes that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the fate that it reached, and I'm just not gonna dwell on it. It's just gone. So what those do is that it helps you count what row you want. And so in the pattern, there's nothing really goes over like a 4-row repeat, I think. But still, even though that's a really short repeat, if you've never done brioche before, you can like look up at it because you hear something and look back down. It could be like, where am I? Like, the panic can ensue like that. Like, at least it did for me when I was beginning and I couldn't read my knitting just yet, because brioche is very difficult to read. Even if you've been doing it for years and years and years, people have told me that it's still hard for them to read. But if you have that ring, okay, where you can keep track on the ring, mine has like an LED face where it's like a clicker you use for tennis. Like, you click it and it goes like 1, 2, whatever. It has like a numbers on it. I'm so bad at explaining this, but it's just essentially a counter ring. And so I would literally, every time I finished a row, click, okay, to notify me of what. So if I just finished row 2, I'm clicking it to row 3. So that way, if I blink, look down, and look back up, what row am I on? I'm on row 3, okay? That easy. And if it's like, because brioche, there's 2 row 3s. There's a row 3 for the dark side, and there's a row 3 for the light side. And so it's very easy to tell, okay, I'm on row 3. Now what color am I on? Well, it's the color that's either A, the correct orientation, or B, it's the color that currently isn't the dominant color in your last worked row. So if your last worked row, you look at your live stitches and they're all light colored, you know, mostly light colored. You know, if you did the yarn over in the light color, then you have a lot more light colored loops. You know what I'm trying to say? Than dark color loops. Then it's like, okay, then I am on row 3 dark color. And that's just how I did it. I was just like, okay, it's a very basic way of reading brioche. My dog is literally crying. Don't be alarmed. She's a puppy. And she cries over everything. She could cry because I may ask her to do something and she might not fully understand, so she'll cry. Yesterday, she cried hysterically because my mean husband was like, puppy, come here. And then he started the shower, which to her means crud, bath time, but really he was just taking a shower. He's like, come here, puppy. And then she heard the shower start, and then she ran towards me and cried. And then, because she never forgets her job, okay, when the shower stopped, she cried at the bathroom door waiting for him to come out. Like, I'm here. I did my job. So, like, she's, like, the biggest crybaby. She's going to grow out of that, though. It's not, like, that's not, like, her breed. Like, her breed isn't really that sensitive. She's just a baby. So, she cries all the time. And sometimes it's over, like, the silliest things. Like, if my husband comes home from work and, like, doesn't say hi to her right away because he's, like, has a handful of envelopes, she's crying. Literally, she's crying. So if you hear her crying, she's fine. She's just a sad little puppy. I think she was crying just now because she's tired, because she cried and now she's sleeping. So, just like a toddler. Another thing that I used were removable stitch markers. Removable stitch markers help me so much in this pattern, especially in the later clues where we're doing like longer repeats, kind of. You'll see what I'm talking about. So what that means is that I use removable markers to mark every single one of my repeats. I found that because it was a longer repeat and it was easier to remember, I found that the ring was doing a little bit too much. And at this time, you know, you've been working through the pattern for a little bit, so you're better at reading your brioche. You don't necessarily need the ring, but you still might need that. So if anything, if you don't buy the ring, if you don't have a ring, get removable stitch markers. You probably already have them. They're like $1. You can use safety pins. I use the cheapest ones. Like, I don't have one on me. Oh, maybe I do in here. I use like the cheapest ones. They literally look like safety pins. Like, I don't have it on me, but they just look like safety pins. Like, and they are like the worst for anything else but marking where you are, in my opinion. So yeah, that's what I use to help me out. Not gonna lie, I fudged a lot of my mistakes. Like, I did not rip back one row in this. I kid you not, I didn't rip back one row. I did drop down in a row before, which is much easier, in my opinion, than ripping back. but I've never ripped back, like, never. What I did was say, like, my biggest mistake, I think, when doing this project, is not even that big, but my biggest mistake would be either missing an increase. Yeah, just missing an increase. So what I would do is I would just fudge it, and I would just add, I would just like pull up the bar in between the stitch that needed the increase, and I would just add it. Like, no, like, and you can't tell, like, you cannot, I've made close-ups of this, you cannot tell at all. It's so funny. So if any of y'all have issues that make a mistake and is like, Sophia, I cannot rip back by myself, don't worry. If you post a picture in the help chat, I would be like, this is what you should do, and don't worry about it. Almost everyone that talked to me, I never say rip back on anything, just because it's just annoying. It's just annoying. It really is. Like, I hate ripping back brioche. I find it obnoxious. I think tinking back is easier, but I also find it obnoxious. So that's why I made the pattern pretty much foolproof. But, you know, it is knitting. We are people. We're not machines. So expect to make a couple of mistakes. And guess what? It's okay. It's not gonna... You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Now, lastly, before we end, one of the biggest questions I get is, can I make this project bigger? Yes and no. You can make it bigger, but you can't make it ginormous just because you just won't have enough yarn. So if you want to make it, like, say, like a few inches bigger, like, and when I say a few inches, I mean 2 to 3 inches, either taller or longer, you can. And if you want to do that, I suggest that you, I feel like by clue 2, you should be able to tell how to do that. And that's all I'm going to say. And if you need help, go into the help chat on Ravelry. Feel free to email me. Emailing is the best way to reach me. Like, really, like, I do get a lot of messages on Ravelry, which is cool, but I'm really bad at responding to Ravelry because the interface, like, I have, like, old lady eyes. Like, the interface, like, everyone adds me as a friend all the time. And so I get those in my message box, and I know you can turn that off. I know you can. I'm just not there yet, okay? I'm sorry. So my inbox is packed with so-and-so added you as a friend, so-and-so added you as a friend, so-and-so added you as a friend. And it's just, like, hundreds of those, really. And, like, or, like, so-and-so did this, and so-and-so commented on this. And then on top of that, it's, like, in between all of that, it'll be, like, pattern help. And it's just, it makes me so sad when I, like, get on there and it's, like, been a week and I'm just like, ugh. Because I've been that girl that's been, like, really confused about a pattern. And, like, I had to ask a question and, like, I didn't get a response for, like, a week. And I find that really annoying. Even though it makes sense because we're all, like, really busy. And on top of that, it's really hard to filter through, like, the spam a lot. When you have, like, a lot of people contacting your account. But it's frustrating because it's like you're stuck on this one thing and you can, like, really lose your knitting mojo. You know what I mean? And then you spend all this money on yarn, all this time, you bought a pattern, and then you're like, I don't want to do this anymore because I got frustrated. And then that pattern might take a nap and time out for a little bit. And so that's why I like to answer really fast. But so, like, if you want to get to me, email is the best way. I try to answer same day. Things have been kind of cray lately, so I haven't been doing same day. I've been doing probably next day. She's still crying. So feel free to email me. All right, y'all, that's all you need to know about surviving the Game of Thrones giveaway. If you want to learn more about how I'm going to do times and when everything's going to be uploaded and things like that, I have an old video. I'm going to link it at the end of this video, so watch that. And I will see you all on Saturday for the knit along. Bye!